Welcome to this week slash month slash whenever podcast.
I think the only reason this is here is because of what happened to a certain group of individuals.
Yeah, I think today we'll actually get to bitch about Kotaku, and
we will actually,
because they're a bunch of arseholes. Anyway, this is Lee.
This is Steve.
Wow. He's just so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
As
What
you
do
can
you
tell,
mean?
we love doing podcasts.
Super fun.
We do love doing podcasts. We just haven't done one since Christmas.
But do you know what's great? I'm gonna finally experience what it's been like for you guys for 5 years now, and that is not have to edit a podcast. I'm fucking delighted about that.
It's grand.
You might
Just
not be when you whenever I've finished.
Listen. At least
he's
I
gonna
don't have
edit
to.
over and just put in DJ Late Night in between certain sections, the random sound effects and all, like those horrible, you've been framed sort of sound effects in it.
And then like random
Yeah,
like
just a
glass
soundboard.
smashing button.
No, like a Borat soundboard or something. Every so often.
Oh my god.
And tons of licensed music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just all over the
That
place.
ripped from YouTube videos.
Well, get one of our three strikes is all they do.
Yeah,
now?
3 strikes. Yeah.
Which I believe most YouTubers already were issued one when the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing came out. They did it like as a legal thing. They gave all like nearly YouTubers one strike, being like, "Oh yeah, we're on the side of you media companies."
Like what happened to Terry Kavanagh. He had the trailer for his game highlighted for copyright infringement, even though it was for his game, and the music that was used in it was completely licensed to Terry Kavanagh. It was made for the fucking game.
Does it tell you who flags it, or?
When there's some media company.
Some central company seemed to be doing it to kind of really flared up. I don't know if the situation's back to normal now or not.
Your man
No,
Tom Biscuit talks about that,
it
by the
was 2 weeks ago, I think it was, that Terry Kavanagh put something up on Twitter saying that he's still, his video is still getting flagged for copyright issues.
It's a bot that
For
does
his
it.
game.
It's a bot that goes around.
His trailer. It doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
But yeah, we're mostly going to be talking about what happened with Irrational yesterday.
Yeah.
I suppose we should talk about a few others. A few other companies that have closed down recently that, could close,
What other
could deep.
companies?
Well, like, let me put it this way.
Like how when you say recently?
In the past year or so.
But the only reason for this close down is it's a weird to talk about it. It's
Not
really,
really
weird.
Year.
It's a weird close down.
What's going on? Yeah,
That's what I said.
that's
If you
why
heard
it's
like,
noteworthy it's
if you heard
weird.
it was like, oh, we're closing down due to this. Like, if they're closing down due to the poor aspect of like Bioshock Infinite.
No,
Yeah, if it sold really
Didn't
far
sell its
below
whatever, yeah.
expectations or whatever.
Then you'd kind of go.
That's when
nah,
game
yeah.
companies usually close, but you're usually, especially someone as big as Irrational, would have been given more than one strike, even on something like that.
Yeah.
But
Although,
it seems like it closed down because Ken Levine got bored.
no,
If you read his letter,
Lee Alexander put up something there today just before I left,
I read like the first half of it. It seems pretty good.
and she was kind of told a
That
year ago
this is a
that this
possibility, yeah.
was a very, very good chance of Irrational closing. But the letter that was published yesterday on the Irrational site was kind of weirdly worded. It seemed as though it was completely Ken Levine's decision to close it. That's the way it came off with me. I don't know if that's 100% true. Like, the funny thing is, close to 200 people are losing their job,
That's what people think, yeah.
and the way Ken Levine was putting it was he wanted to downsize to just 15 developers.
He's taking 15 people with him.
Yeah. So why, if that was the case, and it was kind of down to him, why didn't he just leave with those 15 developers and keep the other 200 people employed?
Yeah, that's what makes me think it's weird that maybe it wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is like, if Irrational's getting any sort of like funding for being open, my theory on that would be is that he wouldn't be able to like keep them employed, and then he wants to start his own small thing. It's either the fund would just have to go to one thing.
But I don't think
owned by 2K.
Yeah.
So
I think
2K
Ken is
don't
going out
pay
on his
Irrational.
own.
Yeah, but 2K are now going to help fund him.
Well, I think they'll own whatever Ken.
Yeah,
Levine-
but that's what I'm trying to say. It's like the business decision is like, oh well, the main guy is going off to do his own thing. Just close the old thing. Just now he's a smaller bill because he's
Okay.
only so many people.
But
Well-
when as successful as the Bioshock games were, like, it doesn't seem right to close Irrational from even a business standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, just put in someone closer to their way of doing things that can get a game done in 2 or 3 years or something.
Just fucking get Rod Ferguson to do it.
Yeah, get him to come back.
But he's now in charge of the Gears of War franchise. He wasn't he hired to come in to close out Bioshock Infinite?
Yeah, and now it looks like he was there to be the anti-Ken Levine.
Yeah.
Like, to really make people knuckle down and stuff. Because the one thing you're hearing a lot of is that Ken Levine mightn't have been the best person in the world to work with or for.
Yeah.
That seems to be coming true in almost every storyline, which I never got from him.
Yeah.
But I guess like I didn't work for the guy. I just saw him in interviews.
Well, and everything I've seen of him, and even on his Twitter, like he does everything with a good sense of humour and stuff like that. So maybe perhaps he was just the nice guy boss. Maybe that's probably the reason why he wasn't such a good person to work under. Like, that's the thing in these types of situations. You kind of need someone to like be the bad guy, because at the end of the day, you need to get stuff done. You need to get it out on time. And Bioshock Infinite took
It
7
took
years,
a long time.
6
Well,
or 7
it
years.
was 7 years from the release of the original Bioshock, but I think it was only in development. Well, I think it was in development for 5 years.
It was probably in pre-production for at least a year before that, though.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are going to get access to like just how much it costs to get that game out and just how much it's gotten back. We're not going to have that balance.
2K did seem happy with it.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
and it has done well sales-wise.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't a disappointment to them. I don't know the exact figures, but
Last thing that strikes me with Kevin Levine would have been at an E3 when he supported the PlayStation Move all those years ago.
That was the Vita, actually.
that was a
think.
Vita.
It's a Vita.
Yeah.
And apparently there was never anything
No.
beyond an agreement.
And that's just what happens. Like, you know, you say you commit to something, then either party gets pissed off, and then that's it. That's the end of that agreement. Like, so I think it was just to show their support for the Sony platforms, because like, what the original Bioshock was on the Xbox for a period of 2 years before it
About
came out
2
on
years, Xbox and
PlayStation.
PC.
So I think it was just like, yeah, we're releasing Infinite and
But
we're supporting Sony
the
platforms.
meaning for me bringing that up is that he hasn't just been kind of thrown out to give the public kind of message before. Well, like he hasn't just been doing it now just to give this letter. That before he has just gone out and said, "Oh, we're a Sony partner." Da, da, da. So it's like what you guys are saying. It's one of those things as where was the letter written and he had to read it and then he had to
Well, it was just a
remind
letter.
himself what he said, or did he actually say it?
No, it was just a letter on the website. Like, it wasn't him reading it or anything like that. It was just a
That would have been pretty funny.
yeah.
Just like him sitting
You
on
play
the
like
desk
a little
reading
thing.
the letter.
Like a will.
You just see every now and then, like on the camera, like a gun sort of coming into the side.
Oh, they hang a flag behind them and two guys just walk up
Yeah,
with
just
like
a 2K logo.
AKMs and just sit beside them.
A machete.
But like that's what happened. And then I suppose now is a good time to bitch about Kotaku.
You just really wanted to bitch
I-
about
I
Kotaku.
tell you then. Aside
Wait, hold
from-
on. Explain what happened, because I seen a bit of
Yesterday-
your conversations of what happened.
Yesterday, Ken Levine wrote that letter thing.
Okay.
I initially saw it, like read the first line, and it's like, oh shit, Ken Levine is leaving Irrational. And then I think my next tweet is probably 20 seconds after that, and it's like, fucking wait a second, Irrational is being closed down. It was like, so
And then-
that what time was that? It was around 6.
Yeah, it was late in the evening here. And then
like tweets started coming out from people who had just found out that they're out of work and stuff, looking for jobs, and just saying, "Oh, I'm out of work in a pub or whatever."
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, well, that was Sean Elliott.
Yeah.
Like, he was back posting videos of goats today, so I think he's probably alright.
He's what now?
He always posts really odd things on his Twitter. Like, really...
Like, funny stuff, though, like...
Yeah, never use it, like, in work.
Yeah.
Never click on a link he supplies in work.
Yes.
Would be my advice.
But, like, all these people...
Well, he'd been working on that thing for 6 years.
Yeah.
And on Twitter seemed really, really
Working on-
genuinely into it and believed in it on Bioshock Infinite. So that's the kind of people who are being let go. Like, I don't know what this 50...
He's from 1UP, yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was a level designer
Oh, okay.
on Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, but he was a journalist before.
Yeah.
He's part of the Brodeo.
Yeah.
Was it? He's the Brodeo? That was the...
That was them, yeah. Games for Windows Live.
Yeah. We're a friend. Mr. Green.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Green.
Yeah, so, like, you had 200 people out of the job yesterday, or who had just been told they're out of job. Some of them expecting kids, such as Sean.
Yeah.
And then Kotaku published an article saying, yeah, you know, we understand 200 people have lost their jobs, but getting really excited about what Ken Levine is working on. And
It's a bit soon.
Really?
Yeah. Guy Jason Schreier, I think is how you pronounce his
I
name.
don't know, I didn't even bother remembering his fucking name.
And then he posted on NeoGAF later when someone said, "Hey, this article's kind of shit." And his exact thing was, "Oh, we provide news for gamers, not people who make games," which is kind of shitty.
That guy's a dickhead.
So it's like saying, yeah, you got fired by your boss, and I feel sorry for you.
But that's
But what your boss is going to be working on is going to be fucking awesome.
But
It's
that's
the
like-
thing you weren't picked to go work on.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of trying to turn around and say, like, in football, they're never going to talk about the football transfer team or management in any way or a manager. They're just going to focus on the results of a football
Yeah,
match.
that's exactly what it like.
So it's like, how can...
There's no point in getting into the whole games journalism thing. So we hear
I've
all
seen that
that.
post, though, about...
As I said, Kotaku is the place for that type of guy.
Yeah.
Fucking useless. So, yeah.
No.
That wasn't too harsh, was it?
Really? Nah.
That wasn't too harsh on Kotaku, was it?
But, no, the whole ordeal that happened with that, it's kind of weird to have... Like, I don't think Has anyone
such a
shut
big
anything else
development.
down that way, that method before?
Not that I can recall.
How was... Well, THQ wasn't really a...
THQ.
They were kind
that
of
was-
like...
They just ran out of
house-
money.
That was a slow, lingering kind of thing that
Death.
everyone could see coming.
Do they own IPs as part...
They had to auction them off to pay off their
No, not
debts.
them. Sorry, not
Irrational.
THQ. Irrational.
No,
They're
They're
yeah,
owned
yeah,
by
yeah.
2K, yeah.
Yeah, they're owned by
But
2K.
are they? How are they operating? Like, this is more business stuff than anything else. Like, are they operating as a subsidiary, or are they operating as a?
They're operating
front
as
of house?
as a developer for a publisher. That's it. It's a Irrational is the developer, 2K is the publisher, 2K own Irrational.
Okay, so they're getting severance packages from 2K.
There was
You
nothing
wouldn't-
said
you
about
wouldn't-
severance.
You wouldn't know how it works in America, so...
Yeah,
And there was nothing
that's true.
said about severance. They said that the
Finance?
studio is going to be open for...
They mentioned something about finance, though. They mentioned something about the finance or something.
yeah, they have the
They're
use of the
financing Ken
studio.
Levine's new thing.
No, I'm almost certain I read something that finance, like, people getting, like, getting let go and stuff. I almost certain.
Probably, I don't know.
Something about the offices are open, yeah, you're right about that. But then something also about... I don't know, anyway. But, like, to have it, like... I wonder out of the 200 how many knew. Like, you were saying someone may have known a year. But, like, how many out of 200 would have known that letter was going up that day? And how many found
I
out
assume
that
they
day?
all would have
they
known.
would have all been told that day.
That'd be
Yeah, at
pretty
least.
shitty.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty shitty. It's like,
Yeah.
look, I just open.
Did you see what's on the site?
Yeah, open the homepage there.
Since I don't have a job
It
anymore.
was actually Kevin
Yeah,
Bean
Ken,
doing
how
the
come I
whole...
wasn't picked?
Yeah, he's just like comes out and sits down. He says, "I have a letter to read you all."
And there no
Gather
just comes
around.
out in a Willy Wonka costume with the 15 golden tickets that he was coming with him.
He left them in, like, packages of, like, Infinite. Just like in the hand of them out, which one got it?
Yeah, now I work for Irrational. I bought this game, now I work for this guy.
Do you know what makes me feel sad about this? I don't know why, but you know the video that was released where the girl and the dude from Thing were singing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but that makes it seem a bit more tragic, because then you realise how fucking good that game was, and you know, and the likes of I've seen it earlier on. Someone put it up on Twitter. Like, you have the likes of fucking Candy Crush going for a big fucking IPO.
Yeah.
And then quality games like.
Well, you don't mention
like
them. Their sales tanked. Fuck
those idiots. And then you have quality studios like Irrational getting fucking shorted because who knows?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it even more tragic, the fact that like it's happened this way, and yet those fucking arseholes in King are making.
Because it's easy to make
ridiculous
games
money.
for dumb people.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, it's
And
pretty
there's more
much.
dumb
I
people
wouldn't say dumb. I'd say people who are addicted.
I would say dumb people.
But they're addicted.
The
That's
dumb
the
people,
thing.
yeah.
Like, it's
like,
an addiction.
It's the whole fucking Flappy Bird thing. Like, that's.
Yeah, it's a stupid game.
Yep.
I'm assuming everyone here
Players.
hasn't gone near Candy Crush.
I've seen it.
If you've played,
I've
if you've
never
played
gone near
Bejeweled-
Flappy Birds. Like,
If
you've
played
never.
Bejeweled-
I didn't even play Angry Birds.
I've played Flappy Bird and it's terrible.
I played it for 5 minutes and then deleted it off
I
the
played
iPad.
a clone called Flappy Fedora,
Yeah, there's clones all over the place here.
which is pretty funny.
I've seen someone put up an image of the sperm one.
Or no, the pipes are Mountain Dew cans and the bird is a fedora. But in the background there's like this picture of this absolutely gigantic guy with like a big neck beard and like a tiny little hat, like tipping it.
Brilliant.
And like whenever you start, I think it says "Milady,"
Oh god.
and when you get hit off the cans, I think it says "Friend Zone."
I've seen the Irish one, the one that was released by a Body Farmers student.
The crayony looking.
Yeah,
Not
Happy
crayon.
Bird.
He said he made a clone in
Human
an
by
hour.
alma
That guy?
mater.
The guy who made the clone within an hour? That guy?
I don't think it was done in an hour. I think it was done in like.
He
2
said
or
he
3
did it
days.
within like.
Yeah, it was done in 2 or 3 days. Seeing that was actually considerably better than Flappy Bird, but it was still fucking
Do
shit.
you want to talk about the controversy? What your man did? The whole
He
like,
got-
taking it down.
Yeah, like people went
And then
crazy
he
at him.
put an update out
for
like that
some
day
reason.
of the game.
Yeah.
To update his ad stream.
And yeah, like he was earning 50 grand a day or something.
No, well that's the hype apparently. The hype they're saying
I don't,
they
I
earn
don't
50.
think he.
Apparently he's earned anyway. 50 grand a day is non-viable. Apparently you take probably even he may have gotten around 20 grand maybe, and not even a day.
Yeah, but like he's
But
in fucking
yeah,
Vietnam.
that's what everyone was saying, that he's in Vietnam. So whatever he made can now get him out of Vietnam if he wants to, or he can just live like a king there.
I'd
Like,
take
Vietnam
20
is still
grand a
a
day.
pretty poor nation, isn't it? In general.
Ish. Like it does quite well in tourism.
Yeah, I suppose. But like, I'm sure that type of money is
Oh yeah.
like that would make him fucking very wealthy. in
You
Vietnam.
don't come back from something like
Nah.
the war.
Everyone's kind of
really
saying
quickly,
everyone's
like-
saying that it's a marketing ploy.
I don't
People
know.
said a ton of stuff about Flappy Bird.
But everyone's just like,
I don't
"It's
think
not
we'll
real."
ever. We don't think we'll ever really know
we'll
exactly
probably
what
never
happened.
hear of that guy ever again.
Probably-
He doesn't seem to have liked his experience.
Yeah,
No.
Probably won't care either.
No, you
Yeah.
guarantee you won't.
And like in a month, we'll be talking about some other stupid iPhone game that gets popular for no reason.
Yeah, die piggy
Kingdoms
die.
and Lords is pretty good. I'm enjoying that at the moment.
But you know the ones that get like Angry Birds.
Yeah.
And stuff,
Angry
and
Birds
then-
was a fucking fluke as well.
that they all seem to be flukes.
They
To be
are.
honest, the games that'll get it, like, I don't think everyone's going to rush out and play your game, Al, unfortunately. But it's the
But they can
multi-gender
add me
games.
online also.
Those are the ones that take off. Because, like, I think the female demographic are the ones who are pretty much pushing this forward, like the mobile stuff
Oh
especially.
yeah.
It's like,
definitely-
who's the fish game? Big Fish Games, is it? Sorry?
Big Fish, I think.
Big Fish are gone.
Got eaten
No, I
by
know
EA.
they're,
and
yeah, they're
destroyed.
gone. But, like, they knew their game demographic before it got taken out by the mobile market.
You still, I'm sure, find a lot of people like who are into games as we are just playing Candy Crush but on the sly. Like, I bet you.
Hanging your head in shame in the bathroom.
I bet
as they're
we all know
sitting there.
someone who probably has a fake Facebook profile to play Candy Crush on.
Is it
Do you
you?
need
Ev?
Facebook to play that?
That is a Facebook game. I assume
Oh.
you can play
No,
it
you
on
don't.
the
Are you
app
trying to
store.
tell me that someone we know who's a gamer is playing this game?
I prefer to think that we don't know any gamers or anyone who call themselves.
No, but like people who are you use the term. You use the term about people who play games.
So
in
people
our
who
way.
play who are into games as
Yeah.
much as we are. Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that phrase in the
We're not
terms.
gamers, Stephen. We're hardcore gamers.
But like,
Hardcore.
who would be
Hardcore
who'd
to
be
max.
it? Who's playing that
I'm not
game?
talking about anyone in like.
I don't like the way he
I
brought
just
this up.
have some dirt.
I think it's
I
out-
reckon it's Joe.
He doesn't have a normal Facebook, let alone a face.
Yeah.
Facebook.
But you don't need it for that. Does he have an iPad?
I know, Louis. I bet you Louis dabbled in it.
Fuck
I
yeah.
bet you Louis done it.
No, I think Louis got better taste in games. He generally
I don't know.
Louis has a better taste in games.
Louis-
Louis will
Louis
taste
plays-
the trash.
Louis plays Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy. Now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Louis has better taste in games.
Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, both quality games.
He hated Metal Gear.
He's been wrong once or twice. I'll admit that.
Who likes watching movies?
Everybody
when
makes
they're playing a
mistakes, Lee.
Yeah,
For example, you don't like Final Fantasy.
that's not a mistake.
That's your character flaw.
That's not a mistake.
It's
nor a
okay.
flaw.
You're only human, Lee.
I just appreciate quality storytelling, not fucking pie in the sky weird fucking shite.
Quality storytelling.
It is kind of a weird story.
Quality story.
Wow, which Final Fantasy?
I
I'm
have
gonna assume we're
any
talking
of them.
about 7 because that's.
No, I wasn't talking specifically about 7.
Well, look, if you're talking about 13, I'm not gonna argue with you there.
I'm talking about 13,
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3, and 12, and 11,
12 wasn't too bad.
and 10.
11
And
is
9.
massively
Have you played them all?
I played.
Have you played 6?
I didn't play 11. Yeah, that's it. 13, I played the start of the first one and then said this is an absolute piece of shit. Got it.
You were like, Lee was right. Lee was definitely
No,
right.
I never said that. I never ever said that. I was just more like, come on, Square Enix, what are you doing? Don't hurt me like this. It hurts in here.
We
Not
all know
Final
he is a
Fantasy,
Shin Megami Tensei man at heart.
Yeah. Listen,
Specifically Persona.
I'm too emo. I'm too emo for Final Fantasy, okay? Persona is where it's at.
Persona is by and by far less emo than a given Final Fantasy game. They're actually pretty lighthearted, especially compared to the main series.
What's this Bravely Default thing that I've been hearing
No
about?
idea.
What a fucking stupid name.
It's pretty stupid.
What?
It was supposed to be like another Final Fantasy game, but they called it Bravely Default for some reason.
That is a silly name.
It's
At this stage, is Final Fantasy they literally just hire people to do like,
No, Lost Odyssey is where it's
Animations,
at now, no?
and then they just change
Yeah.
up the characters to look like which girl character they're going to give a boy haircut and
which
vice
boy
versa.
character
Oh,
they
they've
give a
been
girl haircut.
eclipsed in it. Like the Lost Odyssey was way better than any of the recent Final Fantasies. It was on a 360.
And who was that? What was the name of the company behind that?
That
Mist-
movie Square
Mistwalker?
as well.
I think it was, yeah.
I
But
think that is Square.
That game was weird.
that game was deadly.
I played about an hour and I
Brilliant.
got kind of weirded out by it and I stopped.
I don't know. It was really, really
I
good.
can't.
And
play
really
those
good
games.
storytelling as well. Really good.
If you want a good RPG, Skyrim. None of this fucking shit, spiky hair.
Yeah, we put all the mods on Skyrim.
None of that. Just honest to goodness, I'm gonna chop your fucking head off.
Really, the people that are playing this are looking for like a 60-hour storyline, not a 3-hour storyline that you will extend to 60 hours because you get lost or walk the wrong way or get distracted.
Distracted
there's
for
that
60
video
hours
of that
gameplay.
guy explaining exactly why he likes the Persona games that I think we should post
Oh
alongside this podcast.
yeah. And the sort of the argument.
The argument from the guy who likes the main Shin Megami Tensei games,
Yeah.
or Megumi Tensei as I think he calls them.
Yeah, and he can't even look at the camera. He's clearly looking at his own letter, we'll call it, that he wrote.
Yeah.
He wrote a letter.
No.
So what the hell?
Yeah.
Is this like the whole leave Britney Spears thing alone?
No, it's
no,
that.
no,
Remember
this
I
is
posted
quality.
that video a few weeks ago of the 4chan got this thing where when you can pay actors to do testimonials.
Oh,
yeah.
It was the Persona 4 one, which is pretty good.
Who were those people?
I love my
You
wife.
can pay people
They're just on
just
this website.
to endorse.
You can pay them whatever script you want.
they are pretty much nobodies. They just wear suits.
Oh, right. I thought they were actually celebrities from somewhere.
How did you think that by looking at the two of them? Like,
They're terrible.
The guy
photos.
by the desk,
Yeah,
that's
hold on.
huge.
Hold on, one of them could have been, you've seen those shitty Nigerian films.
yeah, they're not. I wouldn't even say those people are celebrities in Nigeria.
Well, the black guy is English. Well, that's what it said on the internet.
I thought he didn't sound English.
No, he doesn't. But that's what it says.
He might hold an English passport.
I read a profile of the two guys some anime website dug up. I googled that. It wasn't.
But
it
yeah.
just happened to be on an anime
I
website.
think there's a website, I think it's like something
Fiverr. That's where these guys
Fiverr,
are
is it?
from.
That's where they're from, yeah. So, like, have you ever been to Fiverr?
How much do you pay?
No.
I
We
don't
should
know.
totally
Uh,
get one done.
Oh, we-
Well,
well,
actually, do you
well,
want to know a
get
funny
them.
thing? It's $5, so you only pay like €4.60.
I'm getting one of them.
No,
done.
but no, it's not. That isn't it. Like, there's a variety of people who'll do stuff for a Fiverr, and you can just pick from like just like artists who'll do a sketch.
You
stuff.
don't need to sell it anymore. I'm getting one done.
So you
Just someone to endorse me. I'm gonna bring it to
I think
interviews.
I think the
It's
€5.
like, do you have your CV here?
Yeah.
Yes, it's just on this this USB.
€5.
Look in and have a look.
I remember reading the about was I think it's like 20 minutes is like usually the thing. Like 20 minutes is what a Fiverr will get you if they're doing something.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's way too much. It couldn't be that long.
No, if you're looking to do a video, and you pay a $5,
Yeah.
they have to have 20
Sure.
minutes.
People clone games for £100. That's a lot more work than a fucking 20-minute video. And
Oh,
they'll
you
for
mean
£100.
like develop clones of them? I thought you meant like just what they do on fucking Main Street or whatever.
No, but there's
No, they
like
make
I was looking for a
iPhone.
market.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I
clones.
get what you mean. Yeah.
Like I think one of the things I say, remember those intros that people used to put ahead of any gaming video, like the real like After Effectsy type intros with their names with the I's and the
Fucking
X's
generic shit.
with
We should
Z's
get on
as
this
well.
website and make it look like we're making like a war game, like the
No.
old Command and Conquer.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
have them play
God,
people from
yeah.
that.
That's a really good idea.
Give them exact scripts of what each character is supposed to read.
That would be amazing.
And they'd have
And
green
we-
screens.
I'm sure you can make some kind of basic strategy game.
Fucking make a soap opera.
Command and Conquer, so
And technically, if we can get 20 minutes out of them on each €4, €4.60, 50 quid will buy us, pretty, like that's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
We could do one for Lee's new project. Just slot one in between each level or whatever. Just really then.
We can't mention that yet.
No, I haven't said anything
It's-
about it.
It's being done under a different guise, so we can't say anything.
What?
I'll tell you about it after.
Anyway,
in
well,
the run up to it, we should just like pay people to act out an ARG for us.
but the $5 thing, you know those intros
Oh,
that
yeah.
lasted like 10 seconds and they had texts and stuff, and like they usually pretty much use like pre-rendered ones.
Yeah.
One guy on it,
$1.
I counted out how much he made. He made, I think it was like $600 and something because he had 126 people at the time, and I looked through them, and a lot of them were just people wanting it for their YouTube intro stuff, and they paid $5 for this guy to just put their name in it and stuff, and I looked through it, and they were all like ZZIX skilled shots with a 3XZI, and like it just had an
That's
intro
all he
for it.
changes.
And that's all he did. And then like you just would upload it and they pay $5, and that was it. That guy lived off that for I don't know how long, just doing that.
Well, if it was €600, like not long, probably.
What has
half
the
a month.
internet become?
Yeah.
Weird?
What the
than
fuck
it
has
ever-
the internet become?
Like it was always weird, but now it's really weird.
Yeah, but like it was always weird, but it required a certain amount of skill or understanding, a certain amount of intelligence.
You know what'll
To
infuriate
get
you
on
It's
more?
been
time.
a long time
You know
since
that-
the
do you remember
internet
that
needed
video?
intelligence to get on.
Do you remember that video we sent to Brian about the woman who just stares at the camera? Remember that video? The YouTuber who just stares at the camera?
Oh fuck yeah, yeah.
there was someone you could pay to chat time who would just stare at you live. Like this girl, she would just stare at you, and people would pay.
What the fuck has it become?
Like that sort of stuff is
No,
like
what
has it become?
Stephen, could you get me a link for this?
I could try and work something out. The internet's become what people used to think in their heads. Now they can hide and just not hide, but now they can express those things. They can kind of look for that. So rather than just kind of it being in your head and it'll slowly dissipate and you won't think about it anymore, people are actually instantly just kind of looking on the internet, and they'll find the other people who've had that thought,
yeah, but
and then they congregate.
There was a very good reason for it being stuck in your head and not being done.
It should remain in your fucking head.
Yeah.
But yeah, the internet. I would have preferred a more neuromancer type internet than whatever the fuck we've ended up with.
Man, if the internet was like North Korea,
or Chinese internet.
it'd be so much better.
Chinese internet?
I don't know about that.
If you're fucking stupid, no, you're not allowed on the internet.
Kim
You're
Jong
probably getting killed.
Kim Jong Uno it. Every search engine brings back something about Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
What was up with the Waterford Whispers?
What?
There goes the fucking thing.
Lee's like, I don't have to fucking edit this.
Yeah, you shouldn't make it awkward. Like that's just.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll move a couple of things on the table as I'm doing
I
it.
had to go to the Jack, so I might as well take a break.
Yeah, what happened with Waterford Whispers? Didn't there
It was just a joke. They did that the North Koreans had hacked their website.
Yeah.
Waterworld Whispers are all about just lying and taking the piss, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's like The Onion.
Yeah.
But Irish.
Some of their stories are fucking hilarious.
Some of them are fucking.
The whole the guy on Valentine's Day died of embarrassment.
Oh yeah. That's very sad.
That was really good.
It's written so well.
No, it's good, and they kind of came from nowhere.
I remember them from the meteorologist when the comet was coming. That was when I really kind of found out about them. Or it was about the moon. And they were talking to the head.
We never said goodbye on this.
That doesn't matter.
We'll be back after this.
I've never tarted in my life.
Anyway, welcome back.
You could edit that to go, I've tarted everything in my life.
We'll distribute this via torrent.
We should.
We
Did that
actually
to a game?
we did that before.
We'll just name it under something else that's popular.
I
So people download it and just try and play it.
I will elongate the file. Oh, not
We'll
elongate.
just call it Titanfall.exe.
I'll put it onto like 20 gigs.
no.
Yeah, 20 gigs of garbage files.
I released a bunch of our podcast episodes via torrent, and I got torrented quite a few times. But that was a legit torrent from the creators of
Well, whatever kind of torrent is there, Lee?
Everything is legit.
No, I said there was a legit torrent
It's
where they
all
released their game.
checked.
Who was it did it?
well, the people who did the torrent.
They released their torrent of their own game. I forget who it was.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Fuck. Might come back to me.
He is right. Someone has done. I just can't remember.
Looks
who
like
exactly.
Radiohead would do or something.
Was it a
Actually,
free
that
game?
reminds me. Fucking Tribe Called
I don't even know if it was a free game. I think it
on
just
their
they made it
off
free
their website.
eventually and they just released it on.
Yeah.
Free.
And De La Soul.
Oh, not Tribe Called De La Soul. Sorry.
De La Soul was only for a day though.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those things that you could pay if you wanted, but then they just released it on torrent, so they're like, whatever.
So this is supposed to be about video games or something.
So welcome back to this video game podcast.
We're talking about video games. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're talking about probably the main distributor of games at this point. It's true.
Not necessarily.
It's true. By the way, what did you think of that link I sent you about the freaking Mountain Blade being like €1?
Oh yeah, I didn't click into that. I just saw the title and was like, that's cool.
I couldn't think of
Mountain
anyone
Blade
who
is
I
cheap.
wanted to give that game.
Give it to everyone.
And then League just...
Yeah, you need to get it, actually. Mountain Blade for €1, 24¢.
By the way, the first time you play it will be really difficult to control.
Yeah, you will not know what's going
I
on.
remember it was just my brother like handed it to me. He was like, "Here, look, play this battle." And I was like, "What am I doing?" I was basically running around about 10 men, unable to attack for
Yeah,
a good
Keith
15
came in.
minutes.
That reminds me.
Figured it all out.
Now that I have a pretty fucking good spec PC that I can
Shit,
play.
mate. Let's be fair.
Fuck you in your fucking shitey 660. Now that I have a reasonably good spec PC,
Master Elite PC.
I am now part of the master race. I realised how unused to PC controls I am. Like it's been a good 6 or 7 years where I've properly played.
It's
a
how
PC
you've
game.
been desensitized to first-person-y type game.
Yeah, I still
Oh, big time.
I
like,
still have
fuck.
difficulty with that now.
Yeah. I'm
And
still...
then I
Okay,
went back to Battlefield.
this is
on
my
the
main
360.
problem, and
Picked it
you
up.
wouldn't have this problem, I'd imagine. My main problem is shift is usually to run, but I like it to walk. But then after shift, it's like control and alt. It's like my pinky has never worked. After holding a controller for only 7 years, it's like my little finger. All he's learned is to avoid the battery pack on the back of an Xbox controller to tuck in. So I have this kind of hook motion, so I don't actually have dexterity to click control or alt. So I find myself in games that I've just become a Halo jumper, is what they say, is where you just jump instead of crouching or doing anything. You're just like, screw it, spacebar.
But like it got to the point where I realised pretty recently that anytime I'm using a keyboard, whether it's games or not, my hand will naturally rest over W, A, S, and D.
I did that
Like
in work.
constantly my hand is just there, and like I notice it every so often. It's like, that's probably a bad sign.
Yeah. Nah, it's gotten to the point where I've considered getting a controller for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For games only that will that I'd require.
didn't finish that sentence, but I said, yeah, everything but first person shooters. I still think they're natural.
Yeah.
With mouse and keyboard.
Like anything that translates very well has like it's already mapped to a controller, I'd be happy to play with. But for the likes of, I know for when I do eventually start playing DayZ,
DayZ is definitely a mouse and keyboard.
I'm gonna need a mouse and keyboard.
Okay,
so
if you think Mountain Blade's gone hard when you first play, you're gonna love DayZ's interface system.
Who was it who said it on the joint podcast? It was either Vinny or fucking Jeff. It's just like, describe the controls of DayZ, and someone said Arma as fuck. So I think that's a good description.
There's a button for you to, like, well, I don't know if it's
Does
in
it
the new
have
DayZ.
like the thing from Arma 3 where like there's
20 different.
like 20 positions between
No.
standing and lying
No,
down
there
on
still is the standing QE. There still is the crouching QE. The lying down QE is still roll. They don't have
Do they have to sit
squat
down?
sniper
Where you
positions.
sit, where
the
your
ground.
legs
straight
straight.
in.
Yeah.
Because that's every time I've seen my little brother playing Arma 3, that's what everybody is doing. As soon as a gunfight starts, they all sit on their arse with their
Yeah.
legs
I
straight in
wonder
front of them, just gunning like
I wonder if
that.
that's how, like, if there is another world war, will it just be like two or like millions of men sitting down across from each other?
Well, it's usually people take preference to lie down and shoot.
That would be my instinct, like having the whole
Have
top of
you
my
ever
body
seen-
up when it comes
Yeah,
down.
but have you any seen the picture? And it looks really bad of how you're supposed to like I'd use the term wingman, but that isn't what you're supposed to use on the ground. But like wingman, when you have one person with you, and it's really weird when one guy like lies down like a certain way on his side, and the other guy lies on his ass. And there's just like this kind of like arrangement where each person's kind of leaning on another person, and that's like
Human
a rest.
centipede.
Yeah, it's
You,
just
you
like,
never see that in Call of Duty.
no, that would be awesome. But anyway, Arma.
It's all like diving through plate glass windows.
No, there isn't 36 positions.
It's something ludicrous.
Yeah, there's like something crazy like that. For every scenario, you could do like a step lean and stuff. That's an armor trait. In DayZ, no, they don't have it like that complicated. The only thing that's complicated about DayZ is you have to learn. It's kind of like the inventory system is probably the first. It's like a puzzle.
I've been watching a few
It's
videos
like
trying.
Stalker.
That's what I was about to say. It looks a lot like
It's
Stalker.
Stalker-ish kind of in a way. Yeah, I'd say it's just Stalker, where you have to like fit the shapes in and stuff. But no, the first thing you probably have to learn about DayZ is how to like sit down and take a rotten banana to the mouth. That's about like the only thing.
That doesn't what? Sit down and take a rotten banana to the mouth.
It would
That
make a
sounds
lot.
like
It
Sounds
would make a
like
lot
it
more
sounds
sense.
harsh.
that sounds like your first day on the job as a porn actress or something.
Alright, we gotta see, can you take it? No, but like, I swear to God, it happens quite often to youth players. And like, you can see videos of players who've snapped. And they try and stop him, and he's like, no! And he's just swinging fist, you're not doing it to me again! But I seen a really good one recently where there was these guys with clown masks on and no pants walking around the coastline. And they had like, one guy had a voice distorter. And he's like, I am the bringer of the apocalypse. And they're from the church. And they kept doing like hand motions looking up and down. And they were anointing this guy. So they handcuffed him and fed him like a ton of rotten fruit. And they kept taking out their axes and kind of wiping it on him. Kind of going, we are anointing you. And it's just like really... And then they just like literally get up. Like they finish up like this really weird prayer. And then they just walk off. It like really slowly down the road.
People really get into the whole fucking role playing thing in this.
Oh,
yeah.
DayZ.
It's
Okay, no.
crazy.
Okay, DayZ has a lot of roleplay
I know what we should do.
in a sense.
One of us will join and be bait. I'll do it. I'm
Yeah,
the
you'd be bait.
Yeah.
I've-
So then a group like that
Yeah.
comes up and thinks they're the shit, and
Yeah.
you guys murder them
I've done.
and just teabag
yeah.
the shit out of them.
Al, I've done that already.
That's
in the
why we
game.
need to do this fucking land thing as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
I've.
Why
But see how far it will go
I
on.
did it in the mod.
Just because
The
it'd be
internet.
funny.
In the mod, I had the
So
military
I
M24.
bet most of our computers don't have proper connections.
What for a thing?
You just get a
Do you have an
fucking
Ethernet
switcher.
connection?
Get a switcher.
I don't know if my thing does.
It would. The motherboard would have to have
Oh,
an
it would,
Ethernet.
yeah, of course
Yeah,
it would.
but like all we need to
Oh,
do
it's
is just
still
get
Ethernet,
a.
alright.
We need to get a box like a modem that just has more connections. That's it. But anyway.
I'm gonna buy a modem.
Oh. Anyway, so
Steven said he'd get it.
yeah, an M24
A
rifle,
switcher.
and we lured guys into a city who were like doing shit to people. So we just left them in the center, and I told the guy to pop a flare because it was at night time, and he laid it down. And then I told him to go off and get hit by zombies. So the guys wanted like to rob him and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I'm wounded. Can you patch me up? Because if you die, I think there was something with looting or whatever, and they want to keep him alive to like mess with him." So as your man was patching him up, I took out his 3 mates, and I was only because you have to finish the
You can't get
animation.
out of it, yeah.
And as he was coming out of the animation, like he just goes, What happened? Where's everybody?" And I was just like, "See ya." But like from his point of view, like you don't hear anything. All you just hear is like, and just like a snap, and someone dies. But the whole luring thing, yeah, we're doing that now at the moment, where we'll just sit at the coastline and like groups would come one way and just wait there, and then they'd like talk to you and stuff, and I'd just be up in a hill with a rifle just waiting.
That actually reminds me of a video I watched. Some guy was sniping over the airport.
Yeah.
You know, the military base?
Yeah.
And just there lying in the bushes, you could hardly see this fucker. And then the guy who was doing the video just walked up right behind him and handcuffed him.
Yeah.
The man could do nothing, he was just handcuffed. And then he just fucking exited the game. He was gonna rob him, but he just
If you
exited the
combat
game.
lag with handcuffs, you just die and lose. And then I think their body disappears and you lose all the
Go around with nothing, no clothes on or anything. There's no point in anybody killing you.
What I like about this version is
Just get groups
In the
of
mod?
groups of about 10 people running around naked together.
oh yeah,
So imagine you're a new player, you turn a corner, there's about 10 naked guys running towards you.
I've had a rifle in a
And they-
town.
All you do is just surround them.
Yeah.
And just block
Like-
them moving.
I like about this game you can see what people have on them now, unless it's in their backpack and stuff and they have to take it out. But like you can see it in a holster, or if they have it on them, you'll physically can see that if they were armed. And I had like full military gear, so at that stage it's kind of like all the fresh spawns are kind of like starving, ravenous people kind of like lingering behind you, waiting for you to make the wrong move so they can bounce on you. And I was kind of going through the city trying to meet up with one of my friends, and I swear to God, it's like a pack of wolves. They all kind of get the idea, and oh my dad, like 7 of them just kind of like, hello, like just huddling around place looking at me, and I'm like, I think I gotta get out of here. And then like one of them would just start running at me, like swinging fists, and like put him down. Then they all start running. You just have to leg it out of the city. You're like, ah. But yeah,
It sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, but is it like Eve, where it isn't actually fun?
no, it's fun. Like, see, the problem is now. Well, I don't know if the problem is like there's no vehicles in it. So when vehicles come into the game, it opened up the map for like sites, because you can store stuff on the car. So people would make sites where you'd store stuff, and then you'd have clans who are like, you'd join a server regularly. So then you'd start to know the politics of the thing. So like when I was playing, we used to like, if you were good enough, you just survive north and just never encounter anyone, bar people who are just heavily geared bandits and running around. Now it's kind of just become, the only time you'll bump into people is if they're on the coastline fucking with people. That seems to be it. So the one thing that we wanted to do in the days he was make Cherno police. So we wanted to like wait around the coastline, and then like if someone starts to hassle a newbie, like play sirens over our thing and go like, you violated the law, tampering with a bambi, and then arrest them.
Man,
it's a fantastic game if you have a bunch of people, to be honest. And
Yeah,
it's a fantastic.
it sucks if
but
you're on your own.
No,
Yeah.
if you're on your own and you play it kind of like in the way it's supposed to be played immersion wise, it is still fantastic on its own. Like, I can tell you for a fact, being with a group of people is a laugh, but I've had some of the most memorable experiences being on my own, looting some random place, and then a truck pulled up, 4 bandits just jumped out and started looting the city, and I'm stuck in a building. I'm like, holy shit, I have to try and take these guys out. And then you take them out and take their car.
Do you just call anybody you don't like bandits?
No, you can physically see them bandit. You can.
I shot that guy.
Sorry.
Bandit. Definitely a bandit. You see him in like he's wearing like priest clothes or something.
he's wearing a fucking UN uniform.
Yeah,
Irish bandit, yeah.
No, because in the excuse me, in the mod you could tell the difference, because they'd actually have physical change, like they'd wear scrim on their face, so you can know they're a bandit, so you know they've killed people, innocent people.
But if
And
you
is
were
that
a
something the
bandit, why
game
would you?
imposes?
In DayZ it's not implemented at the moment, but what I'll say to you is, if people are going around the coastline,
You just assume everybody's a bandit, don't you?
if
Probably a
people are
bandit.
going around the coastline with weapons drawn,
Bandits.
They're probably bandits.
they're going around for a reason, because if you have weapons and you know where to go, there is no reason for you to be along the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only 2 possibilities of you literally just not caring, walking down the coastline. Because like,
And what do you spawn with? You spawn with nothing.
nothing, 0. Like, that's it. Like, you
So
spawn
why-
with a t-shirt,
Why are they allowed along the coastline after they've received weapons?
because that's the
That's what
part
it's
of the
all
game.
about.
It's part of the game, because
So
you're
what's
in.
to stop them from fucking just camping at the spawn point, murdering
People-
everybody?
People like
You
Stephen.
spawn like on
The sheriff.
a coastline that's like, I don't know how large, but I'm gonna take a guess that it's probably 20 kilometers of a coastline.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, but like when you spawn, there's a chance of bandits being at the coastline to interrupt you, or you. But like that's the thing of survival. It's like, do you go into a city where there's a chance where there's people waiting for you to go there, or do you just run out into the wild and hope you can find stuff? But that's what I said. Like when you're walking along the coastline, all you hear is like snaps and gunshots and people screaming because they're getting murdered. Like, and then like, I kind of stick to tree lines and stuff. Like, I've had moments in the DayZ now. I have like a guy who's fully kitted out with military gear in M4, and I've caught a guy with an axe chasing another guy down the road, and I came out and just gunned the guy down with the axe, and the guy fainted. The guy who got hit went out, bandaged him, fixed him up, left
Made
the
him
body.
eat a banana. Banding him up. Stick a banana in his mouth.
So I
Is it
saved
your
him.
call sign? Just
So
a
I
guy
saved
knocked
them.
out with a banana
So
in
I
his
saved
mouth.
them, and then like I literally just like would go off and stuff. But I've had it at times where I've saved the guy, the clothing was the same and the character model.
I think
And then
you've
I've gone
told
off.
me this story
Which
and
one?
he's followed you.
Yeah, he followed me for ages, and I didn't know at one point. Like, I kept tabs that he was behind me for ages, and then the second I was in a camp, I'd taken note of where guns were, and he fucking took a gun up, and in the biggest French accent I've ever heard, he just goes, "Fucking die!" I put him down with an like, this was on the mod days, but I put him down. Like, I was just like, but people are like that. It's really kind of, but people roleplay in the game, which is really
creepy,
fun.
like.
But it's like you have that kind of thing where people fall on now in DayZ, where you're just kind of like on the coast, and if someone spots you, you just kind of like, you're running, and then you just stop and turn around, and you just see this like guy just going to like this pose, just like behind a bush, kind of going. Leaning out, looking at you, and you're just kind of like, okay. But we've had to do it like there's magnums in the game, and I love doing it. And it's like when they're kind of gathered, you just get your magnum out and you just kind of go, get away, go scram, and they're all like.
Stephen is firing 2 shots into the air with his finger.
Yeah. There's
Finger
cowboy
gun.
hats now, and people are walking around with no pants and cowboy hats on, and magnums and holsters, doing duels.
It's a very weird thing.
Yeah. Well, like,
Everything is weird now, yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's
Like that DayZ and Rust trade for the most popular game on Steam on a daily basis is nuts. Neither are finished.
yeah.
Like they're both really
Rust reached
hardcore
a million.
survival sims.
Rust
like it makes
reached
no
1 million
sense.
sales.
Like it must be terrible being like a Michael Pachter because the industry is impossible to predict now.
Yeah, so he should
Like-
stop making predictions. Silly predictions.
I think he's funny.
Oh, he's funny, alright, but it's even funnier when he gets it completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I had someone in with us, hired by a government body to talk to us, to advise us, and he told us that if we're not making free-to-play mobile games, we're not doing the right thing. And he's like, PC game will be dead in 5 years. And we
Heard
were
that
like,
one before.
you're full of fucking shit. Sure, look at October to January, look at how Steam had gained 10 million active users in that period of time. Like, they should stop trying to make fucking predictions on an industry that they've probably only known the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Fuck them. They're jokers. They're just trying to follow where the money is. There's plenty of people like that in Ireland.
Yeah, people like, especially now, like in the day that I could bet if you just sat down with someone, they could probably build their own PC just by buying the parts. The way,
Yeah.
I think it's just generally down to the way websites now can pretty much the way they're tailored. Like the interaction, like where you just know what to buy next. People know what to buy next because of that, and like I think people are probably gonna look at it more, especially because the new consoles aren't. I don't think this generation of consoles is really hot.
They're not, and they're kind of broken.
Yeah, they're not really kind of like big wow factory in consoles. Like PC seems to be taking. Like I think there's more hype in. There was more hype in Steam Machine or Steam Box than there was in consoles.
I definitely don't think there was more hype. Like the PS3 has sold almost 5.5 million.
PS4.
Yeah, I keep doing that. And now I own a PS4, so so I'm one of those 5.5 million people.
Yeah, they're
but
selling well.
that's the Wii U's, almost the Wii U's
Lifetime
worldwide lifetime figures in 3 months when it hasn't come out in its home territory, which is always Sony's strongest area. Like, it's bizarre. And I can attest to this. I'm glad I got it because it's cool to have. But I got it in kind of weird circumstances where I didn't have to spend all that much of my own money. But there's no fucking games.
Yeah.
Like the store, like I know it's only 3 months old, but the store is fucking a ghost town. Like the shelves, like Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, and Assassin's Creed. Those are the games you see the most of on the shelves. Like.
Well, like coming from the perspective that I think people were like dying to get onto like Xbox Arcade and stuff like that back when we were playing it. This generation around, it's like a lot of people have probably gone through Kickstarter or Steam Greenlight or different avenues like that,
That's where
and that's where it's all. That's where it's all going, you know.
But the thing is, Sony have aggressively gone after people who got through that way as well.
Yeah.
But who do they get? Like, what's out that's huge now?
Like not yet, but like they do have a ton of stuff.
Like the Witness. The Witness is going to be.
Yeah, the
big.
Witness is theirs. It's a PS4, PC, I think iPad exclusive.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, that looks interesting.
Witness
I saw
is
a
gonna be
video of it
awesome.
the other day.
Yeah. 10
with-
minutes.
Yeah, with John and Blow talking over it.
Yeah,
Seems
yeah.
pretty cool.
Looks incredible as well.
They have Octodad.
Octodad is
which
brilliant.
is fun. I know it's already out on PC. Resogun, which I will get. I'm playing Strider on it. I don't know, just to play something on it, I guess.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
I still eventually want to pick up both of the new consoles, but the fact that a lot of the features that made for example, a lot of the features that made the 360 really cool, like the easy party system like that. The fact that was kind of
made a mess of. And
They're fixing that in the next update.
the
Yeah.
Titanfall update. I think.
that kind of turned me off it.
There's one that'll be out soon, and that fixes
The controller, isn't it?
the controller, battery indicator, stuff like that. And then the second one before Titanfall will fix all the party and friends and recent.
Like, the one of the main reasons for a console obviously was the ease of playing with other people, because you knew like my machine wouldn't handle it. Like, PC World is kind of like, can we all play this game?
Yeah.
Work it out, kind of deal.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
We
We all have PCs now.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to put a conversation thing, DayZ is one game that we can play. What other games would you see us playing?
Battlefield.
All you should get Shogun Total War 2 and play the multiplayer campaign. Great.
We should all get Shogo, Mobile Armor Division. No one remembers Shogo? I wouldn't really expect.
No.
It's very obscure.
We should all get that 3DS hamster game that I seen today.
What's it called?
I think it's called Wonderful Hamster.
That sounds pretty good to me.
I'm really
Wonderful.
pissed off actually they're not releasing Rune Factory over in Europe.
Importing.
Would you guys
That's
ever
way too
play
much.
a free-to-play game?
No.
I played a bit of Warframe the other night. It seemed shit.
Or,
I was on
Hogan.
the PS4 version. Hogan was alright, yeah. Hogan
would you
was good.
play? Would you get into a MOBA?
No. I don't think that's ever going to happen. for me.
Man, fuck Dota. Fuck
League.
Fuck League of Legends.
Have you played it though?
Both of the communities are so fucking toxic.
This,
you don't
here,
need
this
horrible.
here is a Heroes of New Earth podcast. From
Yeah,
next week
I'll give you
on.
a simple example. Gary loves that. Gary also loves 4chan.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing
those
more
are
nice
two of
to
the
say.
I don't
things
know.
that Gary spends
See, the thing
most
is,
of his
like,
time on PC
the
doing.
community gives out just as much as anyone else would give out on your team. Like the people like on
No,
COD
no,
and-
more.
yeah,
way more.
Okay,
Yeah.
But anyway,
No matter how you do, you could do 10 times better.
Even
to
with the
just-
communities, it's the fucking time commitment. It's like getting into
Oh,
an
yeah.
MMO or something. I like to play a lot of games.
Yeah,
No, but like
you
the-
jump
no,
into
but
a game and there's
no, but-
maybe 40, half an hour to an hour
but the thing is, like,
in one session.
Without-
my
the powers.
version of it would
Yeah.
be is like, if you have 5 people, then you don't need like to worry about what community is. Like Call of Duty, it was just all of us.
Yeah, the other team is going to give you abuse.
Yeah.
Who? You can just. There's
Mute
called mute buttons, okay? Like, this has existed for quite a while. Also,
But if you're doing team
there's
games, you know
banter.
you never
We
mute.
never muted other teams in Call of Duty.
Chivalry.
Yes.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
become pro chivalry players.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I would
sounds
do that.
horrible.
Just
Would any of you
scream
interested?
at anybody you
Would any of you
want.
interested
Yeah.
in the hardcore shooters like Insurgency? We'll all
Sorry,
become
Steve.
CS:GO players.
What was that?
Oh, fuck that.
CS:GO.
People have been playing that far too fucking
I
long.
can't even
Insurgency.
play Go. I tried to play it the other day and it was just like, oh, tell me a network port wasn't found and it was exiting the game.
Don't play Go.
I played it on the 360.
Play 1.6
I was-
and you're grand.
Pretty
Yeah,
pretty good
1.6
on,
beta.
on the
That's
360.
what does
Version
controller
only.
help.
Yeah.
PC don't have that
Yeah.
shit.
There are still people who fucking play that thing.
I'm telling you, I've seen people with the
CS
medals.
1.6 beta.
With the medals, they
Which
have all
is-
the year medals. I've
pushing
seen an 8-year
9
medal
years.
only
That's
only
older than
yesterday.
It is actually older
How
than
do you have an
9
8-year
years.
medal?
Because
They must have owned like the games in the
that's
past.
probably.
I've a 9-year medal.
No, this is Steam. This is for frickin' CS:GO. They have a medal.
Alright, okay.
It
But I've
probably-
got a Steam. I'm on there longer than you.
I think I'm 9 years.
What?
I'm on Steam longer than you.
Okay.
No, I'll be on Steam 10 years this November.
I'm on 9.
A little bit before.
I only to my Gmail. I won't say it out loud. But my Gmail now that I use, I switched it only not many years ago. You know, Game Battles.
Yep.
I have probably the oldest Game Battles account that I know of anybody. I made it when I was 14, and then it changed to MLG when they bought it up. And I can still log in with it, and it'll say like you've been a part of this for maybe a decade plus.
Jeez.
My Steam account is pretty old.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. It's 10 years going to be.
I'm
not-
Years as well.
Like, but you know, I only really got into Steam like what, a couple of months ago.
Yeah, you probably made it
It's
like.
well over 4 years old because Gary was playing on it before.
My brother has a Steam account.
Any
that's-
games he bought, I own.
Yeah. My brother probably has a Steam account that's probably a couple of years, and he's never made a Steam account. It made the that preliminary account that it makes because you've given them a gift.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me on.
That's probably where your account.
Uplay. My Uplay account came out of nowhere. Like,
I actually have.
Did you play? Did you play a Ubisoft game on your 360?
Not one that ever asked me to sign in.
No, but I probably have an old. Probably I don't know if it's older than yours, but I have a PSN network account since PlayStation 2 launched its network adapter.
It's miles under.
Can you still log into that as an account?
I got into it and I can check my emails.
We'll wrap this up.
Yeah, we should. Sure, I have to go now anyway. So
Right, so that's that.
Yeah.
Bye now.
that's
Exit
this
music.
podcast.
Yeah, some exit music.
I'm sure DJ Late Night will wrap us up anyway.
Yeah, with his
It's got to be done now.
silky smooth voice.
Right, how do I stop this?